training sessions of the Afghan military. Michael Tracy, an independent journalist, was able to interview someone who told the truth about what was happening in Afghanistan 5 days after Joe Biden's press conference, where he said the Taliban are never going to take over the country. The Afghan National Security Forces are too strong. Here's what Michael Tracy, this independent journalist, was able to show the country based on interviewing a veteran in Afghanistan. Here's what the veteran said, quote, "I would sit in on staff meetings because part of my position there was with the Joint Command that was building the Afghan military and police force. The division that I worked on was about training and was about training and policy for the Afghan police, and that also included arming and funding them. I don't think I could overstate that this was a system just basically designed for funneling money and wasting or losing equipment. It was just a money pit. They were just bilking the U.S. taxpayers, not just the Afghan warlords, but also U.S. military contractors, biding their time trying to get as rich as possible until the day that the U.S. left and knowing that the Taliban would take over." He went on, "I would sit in meetings, in staff meetings, where we would talk about, okay, this month we sent 14 armored Humvees down to Helmand province for the border patrol, and 12 of those 14 Humvees along the way went missing or quote unquote broke down and were disabled." And this was a regular thing. Like the majority of shit we were adding to the inventory of these border patrol units just wasn't even making it there. They were equipping the Afghan National Security Forces, the military and the police, but they were just corrupt and they were stealing them. They weren't even getting to the people that they were intended for. He then went on to say, "The overwhelming impression I got, it didn't occur to me that we were purposefully delivering this equipment into the hands of Al-Qaeda or whatever, but the sense that I got was, oh, well, the purpose of us being here is to justify pouring mountains of cash into the pockets of contractors, the manufacturers of this equipment. The incentive structure was lose shit because then it'll have to be replaced. We'll have to send more out there." Now, you tell me, how is it that there were veterans in Afghanistan involved in the training of the police and the military saying this, that the whole thing was a scam, that they weren't even trying to build an Afghan military force? It was about enriching U.S. military contractors and then whoever was getting kickbacks in Afghanistan. A month ago, when Joe Biden, the commander-in-chief, the person with the access to all the intelligence, was telling us that the Afghan National Security Force is way stronger than the Taliban, they don't compare in terms of their military force, that it's extremely unlikely we're going to see the Taliban taking over, that it's impossible that we're going to see a situation in Saigon. Obviously, there were people who knew the truth and were publishing the truth and saying the truth. Do you remotely believe that Joe Biden didn't know this when he stood up and justified his decision, which, by the way, I believe was correct, just as I believe it was correct when Donald Trump wanted to withdraw all troops from Afghanistan? You don't think he knew this?